transpired since the day when a decision was made to invite the CCM to appear before the plenary. I have also considered the request by the CCM and the correspondence between the Assembly and the CCM, and upon examination of the need to have the people of Nandi get the opportunity to know the answers to the questions sought. At this point in time, I focus on the common good and the greater objective of the constitutional oversight mandate of the Assembly, and hereby direct as follows: that the CCM Roads and Infrastructure to appear before the County Assembly plenary tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. and to submit the responses before the office of the clerk by today 5 p.m. as it were in the earlier communication. 2, any further conduct of this nature by the CCM Roads and Infrastructure or any other CCM will attract the necessary sanctions. The time at which the regret letter was submitted to the office of the clerks reads mischief, and the CCM Roads and Infrastructure is called to order. He was to appear at 10 a.m. today, and he sent a letter at 10:30 a.m., an indication of attempting to run away from accountability. That this communication is to be conveyed to the CCM Roads and Infrastructure. Finally, honorable members, my attention is also drawn to the fact that this House will be considering the budget estimates tomorrow. However, the standing orders grant the House the latitude to extend its sitting hours. I thank you, honorable members. That is the communication. Unless maybe there is any comment on that, because in the morning session, I had undertook to give a very detailed ruling on the same, and I believe that is the position. We can have the next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number, sorry.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table Select Committee on the County Budget and Appropriations Report on the consideration of the Nandi County medium-term expenditure budget estimates for the financial year 2025-2026. I do so, Honorable Speaker.
Any other notice? If there's none, next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Okay. Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to give notice of motion on consideration of Nandi County medium-term expenditure budget estimates for the financial year 2025-2026 as tabled in this House this afternoon. I thank you.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable Isaac Mosbey.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to inquire the fate of the statement I sought on the TSS usage, and I'm yet to get a response, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Isaac, I thought probably you were responding to a statement or even seeking a statement. I didn't know that you wanted a clarification. Nonetheless, I'll be able to give a detailed communication on that in the next sitting. Well, next order.
Order number 8, pronouncement of budget highlights and revenue-raising measures for the county government of Nandi, financial year 2025-26, by the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning.
Honorable members, section 132.1 provides that each financial year, the county executive member for finance shall, with the approval of the county executive committee, make a pronouncement of the revenue-raising measures for the county government. Further, Standing Order 25A provides for the designation of a place in the chamber for the executive committee member and other persons. The Speaker may designate a suitable place in the chamber or at the bar of the House for A, the county executive committee member responsible for finance to make a public pronouncement of the budget policy highlights and revenue-raising measures for the national government as contemplated under the Public Finance Management Act. B, other persons to make submissions or presentations before the House. Standing Order 216A also provides as follows: that the county executive committee member responsible for finance shall make a public pronouncement of the budget policy highlights and revenue-raising measures for the county government as contemplated under the Public Finance Management Act. The Speaker may designate a suitable place in the chamber for the purposes of admitting the county executive committee member to make the public pronouncement of the budget policy highlights and revenue-raising measures. The public pronouncement under paragraph 1 shall be heard without question or clarification. 4, on the same date that the budget policy highlights and revenue-raising measures are pronounced, the county executive committee member shall submit to the county assembly a legislative proposal setting out the revenue-raising measures for the county government, together with a policy statement expounding on those measures. Honorable members, I have since designated a place for the County Executive Committee member for finance to discharge his mandate, but before I invite him, let me also sincerely recognize those who have accompanied him. We have, to the County Executive Committee members present, the chief officers present, led by Priska Mwigei, the Chief Officer Finance. We have the senior county government officials present, the members of the public on the speaker's gallery, and also the members of the Fourth Estate. You are highly welcomed to the County Assembly, and we thank you for choosing to take part in today's event. As the CCM for Finance will shortly make the budget highlights, I bring to the attention of all of us that pursuant to Section 131 of the Public Finance Management Act, the County Assembly shall review the county government budget estimates with the aim of approving them with or without amendments in time for the relevant appropriation law and any other laws necessary to implement the budget to be passed by 30th day of June each year. Before the County Assembly considers the estimates of the revenue and the expenditure, the relevant committee of the County Assembly shall discuss and review the estimates and make recommendations to the County Assembly. And in finalizing the recommendations to the County Assembly, the committee shall consider the views of the County Executive Committee member for Finance and the public on the proposed recommendations. Honorable members, at this juncture and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 216A and 25A of the Nandi County Assembly Standing Orders, which admit Mr. Alfred Lagat, the County Executive Committee member responsible for Finance and Economic Planning, to the House and welcome him to make a pronouncement of the budget highlights and the revenue-raising measures for financial year 2025-2026. You are highly welcome to discharge your mandate. So, Sergeant Atam, you may usher in the member. The CCA member, you are highly welcomed. You may proceed to discharge your duty.
Oh, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker and the members of this Honorable House. It's a privilege for me to stand before you to present for us the budget pronouncements for the financial year 25-26. So I'll briefly go through the highlights of the budget as it is. So this is the statement delivered to the County Assembly for the County Government of Nandi on this day of 25th June 2025, highlighting the budget policy and revenue-raising measures for the fiscal year 25-26. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, the honorable members of this County Assembly, residents of Nandi, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests present, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, it's once again a privilege for me to present to this honorable House and to the great people of Nandi the highlights of the financial year 25-26 budget, the 8th budget under the Tugatai administration. Mr. Speaker, the presentation of this statement is in fulfillment of the requirements of Section 131 and 2 of the PFM Act of 2012 and Standing Order number 216 of the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed, allow me to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to the honorable members of this House for the support they've accorded me, the County Treasury, and the entire County Executive Committee. This House, Mr. Speaker, approved the 2025 County Fiscal Strategy paper, which we submitted in February 2025 and laid the basis for the presentation of this budget. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency Stephen Sang, the Governor for Nandi, for his visionary leadership, steadfast commitment to public service, and the strategic guidance he continues to provide in the implementation of our county's development agenda. He has indeed laid a strong foundation for inclusive growth and transformation across all sectors of our economy. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to thank particularly the Budget and Appropriations Committee under the chairmanship of Honorable Edwin Korir and the other sectoral committees of this Honorable House for the constructive engagements and support in the review of the financial year 25-26 budget estimates, as well as approval of the various policy documents that have been submitted to this House. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank all the honorable members of this House, including all select committees, for the oversight role and their dedication towards implementing the financial year 2024-2025 budget. My expectation is to have the same dedication during the execution of the 25-26 budget, which I'm about to present. Mr. Speaker, 25-26 financial year budget implements the third year of the Nandi County Integrated Development Plan and reflects the government's continued commitment towards achieving the people's aspirations. With the implementation of this budget, the government is making progress towards accelerated, all-inclusive socio-economic transformation. This budget has also been aligned to the National Development Agenda and mirrors the bottom-up economic transformation agenda in approach, hence the theme, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda for inclusive and sustainable growth. Today, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to report to the people of Nandi that we've made significant progress towards achieving our development agenda. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, the movement of goods and people across the county has become more efficient and affordable due to the improved accessibility. This has been achieved through the grading of 613.6 kilometers of road, graveling of 48.7 kilometers, dosing of an additional 18.6 kilometers across the county. Mr. Speaker, I am delighted to report to the Honorable House that the construction of the Nandi Cooperative Creameries in Kabiyet with a processing capacity of 200,000 liters per day is now complete, and commissioning has already been done. In addition, test runs for all the production utilities, including yogurt, fresh milk, and the UHT processing have been successfully conducted. Once fully operational, Mr. Speaker, this plant is expected to ease the unemployment burden through the creation of 8,900 direct jobs and an estimated 548,000 indirect opportunities across the county. Mr. Speaker, we've continued to enhance livestock production and productivity. This has been achieved through vaccination of 25,000 heads of cattle against foot and mouth disease, construction and refurbishment of 24 cattle dips, commissioning of 2 new cattle dips. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, our farmers now have access to subsidized artificial insemination services aimed at genetically improving the livestock breeds for a higher yield. Our efforts in promoting cash crop farming are bearing fruit. The county has registered increased acreage under coffee and avocado production. This has been supported by the distribution of over 4,000 avocado seedlings, 160,000 coffee seedlings per ward, as well as raising of 5,000 additional seedlings at Kaimosi Agricultural Training Center. Mr. Speaker, the operationalization of the Chebonet Coffee Factory in Tinderet and the Avocado Aggregation Center in Olesos marks a major milestone in value addition within these 2 high-potential value chains. On education, Mr. Speaker, the government has made significant progress in expanding access to quality early childhood education. A total of 26 ECD centers and 21 vocational training classrooms have been completed with ongoing construction of 74 ECD centers across the county. Mr. Speaker, to enhance retention rate of our children in various schools, we have distributed a total of 120 million shillings of bursaries to 11,867 students in various schools, which are awaiting disbursement. Mr. Speaker, both the national and county governments continue to invest in our vocational training centers, institutions. The national government has provided capitation support, while the county government has facilitated infrastructure developments. I take this opportunity to call upon parents and guardians to enroll their children in these institutions for acquisition of essential technical skills. To promote industrial developments, Mr. Speaker, the county government has established a textile and apparel unit in Mosoriot, which is now at its final stages of operationalization and is focused on auxiliary works and the provision of amenities. The unit is expected to directly create at least 100 jobs directly, and of course there'll be about 900 indirect jobs with other auxiliary opportunities available. In an effort to create conducive environment for business and trade, we've constructed modern and rural market stalls, border sheds, Juakali workspaces, and sanitation facilities across the county. Specifically, Ndurio, Kabiyet, and Kiliboni market stalls have been completed, as well as Juakali sheds in Maraba and Kurgung, and several border sheds which are ongoing. Additionally, open-air markets have been established in Soba River, Mosombor, and Chepkongwany trading centers. Mr. Speaker, recognizing the constraints posed by limited resources, the county is establishing the Nandi County Aggregation and Industrial Park at Chemase with the aim of spurring industrial investment. Further, our partnership with the State Department for Housing and Urban Development under the Economic Stimulus Program has enabled the construction of modern markets at Mosoriot, Chepsonoi, Kaiboi, and Kobujo, all of which are at an advanced stages of completion. The Nandi County Digital Marketplace, Mr. Speaker, continues to bridge the gap between the traditional and modern commerce, allowing local businesses to thrive within the digital economy. In support of sports and youth development, Mr. Speaker, the government has organized, hosted, and supported 12 major sporting events. We've also distributed sports equipment to over 300 teams across the county, operationalized the Eliud Kipchoge complex, and maintained key sports infrastructure, including the Nandi Hills Stadium and Kipchoge Keino Annex grounds. Under Tujiajiri program, Mr. Speaker, the county has engaged 465 youth for training in selected vocational training centers across the county, providing them with practical skills for self-reliance and employment. Considerable progress has also been made in the water sector, Mr. Speaker. A total of 21 water projects have been implemented and are now operational, with another 64 projects ongoing across the county. Mr. Speaker, the development of the county special plan for land use is now complete and was approved by this Honorable House. This, Mr. Speaker, will guide sustainable land use and planning within the county. Mr. Speaker, our healthcare system continues to record significant improvements. Outpatient service utilization has risen from 1.6% to 1.7%, indicating better patient care and accessibility. Maternal mortality has declined from 26 to 12%. This is largely due to increased public awareness of maternal and reproductive health. I urge all residents to take advantage of the affordable healthcare services now available, and especially with the utilization of the Social Health Authority. In further support of healthcare services, Mr. Speaker, the county has operationalized 2 out of 6 planned primary care networks. Additionally, 3 new surgical theaters have been commissioned, one in Kapsabet County Referral Hospitals, 2 in Nandi Sub-County Hospitals, and 1 at Meteitei, and as well as 1 also in Mosoria. I'm pleased to inform this Honorable House that the construction of the Mother and Child Hospitals unit in Kapsabet is complete with the current finalization of the installation of the lifts. This 420-bed capacity will significantly enhance maternal and neonatal health care in the region. We are proud of these achievements, Mr. Speaker, and this is really as a result of our collective actions, both the executive and the assembly. Mr. Speaker, despite these accomplishments, though, we've had a few challenges. One is largely due to the delayed approval of the County Allocation of Revenue Act at the national level, which in turn also affected the uncertainty along the enactment of the Finance Act. But nonetheless, the county really remains committed to executing its development agenda efficiently and in line with the public expectations. Mr. Speaker, on the 25-26 challenges, and a major emerging risk is the global economic stability is the continued geopolitical instabilities, particularly the intensifying conflicts in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, which directly affects our fuel prices as well as our agricultural produce markets, which is a major source of our foreign exchange earning. These are already we are seeing the impact in the commodity supply, and we're likely to influence the inflation and the cost of living even at the county level. At the local level, Mr. Speaker, our GDP grew at 5.6% in 2023, up from 4.9% in 2022. However, due to a slowdown in private sector credit and economic activity in the early part of 2024, the national growth eased to 4.6% this current year. And we expect a recovery in the year 2025 and 2026, which is expected to be at 5.3%. Mr. Speaker, inflation was 9.6% in early 2022, in October 2022, 3% by December 2024, and we continue to see a decline within this financial year. We hope that the Kenya shilling also will appreciate. We know that at some point it had hit an average of 160.8 to the current average of between 129 to 130 to the dollar. This stability has helped to reduce the cost of imported goods, has lowered the cost of servicing external debt, and has restored confidence in the financial market. Mr. Speaker, the county's economy still is heavily reliant on agriculture, with the sector contributing 60%, well over 60% of the total gross county product. The key products, of course, include tea, maize, dairy, sugarcane, horticulture, and poultry production. With a population of 951,000 residents, Nandi's gross county product per capita was approximately 128,300 shillings. This is significantly below the national average, which is 293,229, and indicates a need for targeted policy interventions to raise our productivity and improve individual incomes at the household levels. Mr. Speaker, the development expenditures in the budget estimates for financial year 25-26 shall be shared between county departments and agencies based on the CIDP, which is the 23-27 CIDP, the ADP, the 25-26 ADP, as well as the strategic objectives and policy goals which have been identified in the budget policy statements. Mr. Speaker, the allocation of resources over the medium term will be guided by the following 2 thematic areas. The county will adopt a strategic and a well-coordinated approach, prioritizing full operationalization and sustainability of capital projects. Emphasis will be placed on high-impact infrastructure projects that enhance healthcare access, reduce poverty, promote equity, and create employment opportunities. These projects include the hospital complex, that's the KCRH, which needs full equipping and the operationalization, the Nandi Cooperative Creameries, the coffee milling plant, the avocado pack house, the textile, the Eliud Kipchoge athletics complex, training camp, the governor's office, which needs to be fully operationalized, and also Kobuja and Chepcheroi hospital complexes, as well as upgrading Mosoriot and Nandi Hills to municipality status, the two towns to municipality. The ceilings for the departments in financial year 25-26 encompass the cost of the flagship projects, as well as community-led or ward-based programs, which are prioritized through statutory frameworks and public participation. The outlined priorities are designed to drive accelerated economic growth, reduce poverty, and create employment opportunities. Mr. Speaker, the fiscal year 25-26 and the medium-term budget is designed to support economic recovery and reduce deficit. So this policy, Mr. Speaker, is to mobilize revenue through ongoing reforms in revenue administration. Mr. Speaker, the anticipated budget for financial year 25-26 stands at 9,115,414,450. This has been divided between the county executive and the county assembly with a allocation of 8,334,71 and 781,140,379 shillings respectively. With regard to the recurrent expenditure for 25-26, a total of 6,554 million will cover personnel and operations maintenance, which amounts to 71.9% of the overall budget. Out of this, 4.2 billion Kenya shillings, representing 46%, has been allocated to personnel emoluments. In addition, Mr. Speaker, 141 million Kenya shillings, or 1.5%, is set aside for operational costs and maintenance of county assets and infrastructure. These provisions are intended to ensure continuity in service delivery and smooth running of government operations. On development, Mr. Speaker, a total of 2.5 billion shillings, representing 28.1%, is being set aside for development initiative. This allocation reaffirms the county's commitments to offering continued services. 1.445 billion shillings has been designed for county strategic interventions with county-wide impact. A further of 1.1 billion shillings has been allocated to ward-based programs based on the priorities that were identified. Mr. Speaker, the departments with the highest allocations include transport, public works, infrastructure and development, lands, housing, education, health and sanitation, trade, and tourism and enterprise development. To finance this, Mr. Speaker, the total collection of revenue of 9,115 million includes an expected equitable share from the national government amounting to 7,705,745,000, and locally revenues estimated, that is on-source revenues estimated at 1,019 million. In addition, Mr. Speaker, the county anticipates to receive conditional grants totaling 390 million Kenya shillings, which includes 37.5 million from KDSP2, level 1 grant from World Bank of 352 million, KDSP2 level 2 from the World Bank. We also expect to receive other allocations from conditional grants, Mr. Speaker, that is subject to determination and approval by the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, with all the limited resource envelope, the county remains committed to prudent allocation of resources. To this end, new and improved revenue enhancement strategies will be embedded in the financial year 25-26, which will be captured in the finance bill to be presented before this House. The government is in the final stages of rolling out a new valuation roll under Property Rating Act, which is aimed at enhanced and sustainable revenue growth. These, together with upgrading of the county revenue management systems, implementation of robust internal financial controls, systemic monitoring and evaluation of financial performance and service delivery will be key in our 25-26 budget cycle. We'll continue to streamline expenditure, transparency, and accountability across all departments. Mr. Speaker, let me highlight and expound on the priority areas within this budget. Number one is increasing investment in healthcare for quality and accessible services. This year, Mr. Speaker, I have earmarked a total of 201 million shillings for development investments, that is under healthcare. I have allocated 110 million shillings for the county level priorities, and this is 26.7 million for procurement of assorted medical equipment across the county facilities, 4.5 million shillings for electrical power connection across a number of facilities, 12 million shillings for completion works and equipping of Chepterwai Sub-County Hospital, 6 million shillings for upgrade of the Kabiet Sub-County Hospital radiology unit, 4 million for equipping of the theatre at Serem, 15 million for construction of a new theatre at Kaptumo Sub-County Hospital, 15 million for construction of new theatre at Nandi Hill Sub-County Hospital, including renovation works, kitchens, and walkways, 2.9 million shillings towards the development of maternity block at Taito Health Center, 5 million to complete and operationalize outpatient services at Mogo Beach, allocation of 5 million to complete walkway renovations at Meteitei Sub-County, 4 million for renovation of Kamelil Dispensary, 25 million for Kapsabet Funeral, allocated 123 million for procurement of medical drugs, non-pharmaceuticals, laboratory reagents, and renal unit, coffee pulping machines, 5 million for coffee seeds, 10 million Chabonet, 12 million for last mile fertilizer for feed mill plant. A further allocation of 3 million for further 45.3 million shillings, Mr. Speaker, under agriculture has been allocated to the ward-based projects. 3 million shillings, Mr. Speaker, under agriculture has been allocated to the ward-based projects. 15 million for the governors at the department. In keeping 15 million for the governors at the department. In keeping with this commitment, Mr. Speaker, we have also prioritized 220 million shillings for provision of commitment, Mr. Speaker. We have also prioritized 220 million shillings for provision of comprehensive enhanced urban management. The following areas will be covered. Enhanced urban management. The following areas will be covered. 15 million for construction of adjustment, 12 million for beautification of the town through rehabilitation of additional 21.5 million from ward through rehabilitation of additional 21.5 million from ward level funding has been allocated to support installation of streetlights, vocational training capitation grant. These will support all vocational training centers across the county by facilitating operational needs. So this is ECD centers, 6 million towards upgrading existing ECD facilities. Mr. Speaker, they have also prioritized and allocated 223 million shillings towards ward-based development programs. A significant portion of this goes towards construction of ECD centers. This mirrors the voices of the citizens when we went out to select those programs. Mr. Speaker, I've also set aside under the county bursary scheme, under road and infrastructure, which includes 451.8 million shillings, which we have further allocated a sum of 200 to be co-funded between the county has been allocated towards the grants, encourage local investment, streamline administrative, the budget estimates for the implementation of the proposal outlined above. I humbly request the honorable members of the County Assembly to thoroughly interrogate the attached budget estimates and
I think the CCM you can now submit the policy statement.